All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I'm going to be looking at FNGR and AVTX on this one, and hey, I gotta say, FNGR is definitely doing better than I did expect, all right? In some ways, I think it'd be easy for me to say, hey, I called the bounce on the 100 and that's what this was, but yeah, I did not. I for sure did not have a lot of confidence that all three of those lines were going to be broken, and dude, in one day we see it, right? But if you watch my videos, you know that I care more about, follow through and confirmation than I do a single day. But yeah, today isn't a very, very big percent. I mean, seven's no joke, right? I don't want to undermine a 7% day, but this is a very, very important candle. And like I said, it did more than I expected. That's an easy thing for me to be honest about, all right? The one we're going to talk about after, AVTX, is definitely on a different path. And really that one is sadder to say because like I said, I was oh man, you know what I mean? Like I don't have too much to say, and there's a couple questions floating around. The first one is, hey, where's the bottom going to be if we lose support? And then the other one is, hey, are we going to get to 20 cents? Those are kind of the two I'm getting from more than one person. I'll at least say that, right? I'll get to both of those answers in the video, but I don't think anyone can guess a bottom if we lose this 9-cent range, and then getting to 20 will really, really, really matter about breaking some moving averages, all right? So we'll cover all that and more, but before we go any further, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines, as well as the occasional diagonal trend line that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time, oh, it is super, super appreciated, all right? And then if you haven't already, check out the Discord groups. There are 2 of them. This one right here is the Making Easy Money, the MEM group, and then this one is the Chart Readers page, all right? But let's get into finger motion right there, FNGR. And look, I was rather confident that we were going to bounce on this 100 moving average line. And why was that? Let's just zoom out, okay? We literally had never touched this line until now. Okay, and if you look at the 50 moving average, the red line, basically we never touch it, and then we use it once, we use it twice, we kind of lose it, but we then use it again a third time, fourth, like there were a number of uses of the 50 before it ever fell to the next one down, which is the 100. And because finger motion, FNGR, looks to know how to use the moving averages, I was really confident that it was going to be very unlikely we would touch this a single time and it would quickly fail it. All right, and lo and behold, that's what we see, right? And again, this is one of the reasons why I love my moving average lines, all right? Like, these are computer generated lines that I have no impact or influence on, and yeah, when it's brand new and fresh, you can see what it does, right? The other reason why I like these lines is very often you can hit them and bounce up, right? And yeah, that did it. I was basically calling a $6 number if you go back to the videos. One of the numbers I said was 575. I thought it was going to be a little bit difficult to get over those 2 lines, and I remember saying that these 2 were eventually going to meet right around there. And yeah, I for sure thought that was going to be a difficult line. Afterwards, I was actually pretty loud. I did not think that we were going to get over $6. All right, I'm not taking any of that away, right? Lo and behold, we get a real nice single candle that takes out all 3 moving averages. And look, I don't care about it much, but I see it. After hours, we're still actually going up. This thing is still moving into the 0.11, 0.12 that you see there, right? Sorry, trying to go back to regular. So this was a big day. The truth is, I need really, really good confirmation because of today. All right, you hear me say it. If you're going to break one line, I need good confirmation. If you're going to break two lines, I need better. If you're going to break three or more, oh, I need some real confirmation. I mean, just looking at it, that's where we're at. That's basically where we're at, the 50% of this thing. That means we have to come to that. Like this 50% candle right here, what day is this? The 10-12. I think is arguably the number. Maybe you can lower it to this open at 635 because that's roughly what, yeah, 630. Look, I think 632 is probably the bare bone minimum that I need for tomorrow's close. If you can close around, yeah, 634, 633, I think if you can give me that, and let me see, is it worth actually lowering this? No, I think we still need this line. Oh man, no, I remember talking about this line on the last video too. No, we still need that line. We do. I'm not going to get rid of that. Right now, we need some confirmation. We don't need to break 6. I know everyone would love it, right? Like, don't get me wrong. It'd be good if we do. But yeah, we actually do not need to break this. If we can come up to like I said, 633. Let's make that the number. If we can close at 6, I don't want a wick that touches it and then comes back and closes here or here, right? Like, I need the candle to close here. From there, things will get interesting, because if we can do that, it looks like the MACD would go into the positive line. One more good day and it'll probably close like right there, right? This is a decent RSI that's hungry to go up if it can. It wasn't that long ago that we were pushing really high 90s and living up there, right? So this thing knows how to run. And look, it doesn't take a lot for it to go from under the 50 average white line to well over for a few days, right? Like you see it here, goes up. You see it here, goes up, right? So hopefully we're starting it here and then it could go up, right? Today's a good day. Tomorrow will matter more. Look, on the downside, I would not be surprised if we kind of fall back into these numbers. I would not be surprised if we kind of come into, trying to take this 50%, I think. Yeah, 952. I think closing at 952 would not surprise me at all. It actually would not. But like I said, if you're gonna make me believe that you've broken these 3 moving averages that we just a few days ago, right, like lost and started to worry, you got to make me believe, right? So just like this one lost 2 and confirmed and then followed through, I want this to break 3, confirm, and then follow through, right? That would be the goal that I'd be looking for right here. But more than anything, this bounce of the 100 makes a lot of sense. The break of this, I can't pretend I was expecting it, right? So let's look at the weekly really quickly. Interesting. You know, I don't know if I really called it out, but now that I'm seeing it, the 20 moving average is a lot like that 100 on the other one. Really never used it at all, and kind of right here is the first moments we're using it, and we're now kind of back over, at least seemingly back over the A moving average. Still very early in the week, obviously, right? But yeah, I think there's a lot to like here. I think if tomorrow confirms, this should actually keep going. Again, I keep saying it, this is the money line. I do have another line above it at around 10 something. I don't think this is the obviously all-time highs is like way up here, right? I don't have a line above that 10 because this to me is the very, very, very last real strong line. Maybe it's that, but I don't think it's that. I think breaking 757 will make a fast climb there and potentially a fast climb through as well. So for me, this is still the money line. It still really is. Beautiful, beautiful execution of the 100 average bounce, and clearly one more time better than I expected. Can't take that away. So hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions if you disagree. Otherwise, let's move into AVTX. Okay, AVTX. Look, first off, and I didn't say it on the last one because obviously the last one's doing good. My voice was a lot more optimistic. Like this is not looking good right here, right? And a couple things that I just really want to stress. The first and foremost thing is I'm not here to scare you and spread fear or make you sell or make you buy. Like I'm just giving you an opinion, right? When people say you can't anticipate manipulation and short seller attack and this and that, like the simplest thing to say is the moment that this 13-cent line was lost, it really would have been, knock on wood, very like foreseeable and avoidable all the way through. Okay, and that is like when I give my technical analysis stuff, right? Like it's less about being perfect, all right? And I know that sounds so like counterintuitive to what like a YouTube person would do, right? But look, setting an expectation is way better than going in blind, whatever we're talking about, right? And all I'm doing is setting an expectation. One thing I say on every single video is when you're below all 5 moving averages, like if you can get above them, you'll fly. If you go below, you will die. All right. And on this day, we lose it. And ever since then, all we've been doing is dying. If you watch my videos, I keep saying bad things happen under the 8 and 20. All we've been doing since we've lost the 8 and the 20 on a single day is staying under and losing it. You know what I mean? I also threw out that if we lost this line right here, it might be a really quick fall to down here. And then that's essentially what we saw. And going from 12 down to 9 is a rather significant drop, right? It's 4, 8, no, yeah, 4, 8, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. All right, we basically went down 25%, right? This thing had 4 sets of 30 cents. We just threw one away, and now we're at 9, right? And this is where the first question that was asked was, so where's the bottom of AVTX, okay? Listen, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen if this 9-cent line is going to be lost. Okay, there are no if I go to the weekly, if I keep looking, like there are no historical prices below that. Now I do see that there was a reverse split about a year and a half ago ish, give or take, rough numbers, right? I don't know if we were ever down. Like this is not a stock I knew about back in the day, right? So if you know we've been down here historically before the split, let me know, right? That said, look. For me, this is the point where we either recover or we die, okay? We clearly have used the line once. Actually, let's be honest. We used the line once to fly, right? Like this week, we ran it, okay? From there, we actually never, you could almost argue that we kind of came back relatively close the week after, right? We're on the weekly chart right here. Let's look at the daily. I think this might be the better view because actually this gives a little more. So we use it once to survive. We use it once to fly. We haven't really used it much since. We don't use it here, and we yet to use it here, right? So the question is essentially this: can we use it a third time to survive? In my eyes, I think there's a potential. I think 3 times isn't asking too much, all right? Once you start pushing using a line 4 times or 5 times, that's when I think it's kind of like, all right, this thing's ready to lose, right? So hopefully we can use this 9-cent line for a third time, right? We used it once, twice, hopefully a third time to go back up, all right? And going back up is basically gonna start with going over the 8 moving average, all right? Hopefully getting over that 11-cent realm, all right? Then it's gonna be a question of can we take out these 2 lines, all right? In terms of can we get to 20 cents, man, that's asking a lot because you're asking to break 3 moving averages, all right? I think wanting to get back to 13 cents is relatively realistic, all right? And again, if you're gonna add another 3 cents to this, you're making 33%. So I know not a lot of people want to hear we're only going to go up to 13, but I'm literally talking about making more than 33% if it happens, right? So look less at the pennies and more at the percents, right? But I will for sure say if we lose this line, I have no idea. What I generally say is you're going to lose 20%, and then you're going to lose another 20%, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one until the stock decides to turn around. So if we lose 9 cents, roughly every penny is 10 cents, 10%, you're going to lose 2 cents, and you're going to drop from 9 to 7. If 7 loses, you're going to lose another penny and a half, right? And you'll go to what? 5.5 from there, and so on and so forth until whatever decides to happen happens, right? Someone mentioned that there might be a meeting coming up. Someone else had mentioned that the next meeting isn't scheduled until December. If someone can let me know what the plan is or what the expectation is, that would be much appreciated. But yeah, as this thing sits right now, we're under all 5 moving averages, obviously under the 8 and the 20, and we're a stone's throw away from all-time lows. We have a negative MACD. What looked like, what looked like was going to go up has now started to curl back down. This is starting to curl down. Volume's just getting worse and worse and worse. And what used to be a volume king and queen that I was saying with love is now basically 80% lower than it was. Volume was in it says 80 here, right? But I'm rounding to 100. We were pushing around 100. We've now given away 80 million, or basically around 20 million the last, 3-4 days, right? Give or take, just rounding. So I'm seeing more like this is not good, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. When you got 4 technical indicators and all 4 aren't good, there's only so much you can do, right? So not here to be a hater or spread fear, but for sure not here to pretend the sky is blue like it is in LA right now when it's clearly not in the AVTX community, all right? So yeah, let me know if you disagree. Otherwise, I appreciate your time. Thank you.